Okay. Hi friends, good evening. So my name is Manjunath. So today I would like to explain about the concept of withholding tax. So it is also so called as Indian context as a TDS. Okay. So TDS is tax. Actually, it will be the full form of this TDS is the tax deduction at source. Okay. Source means like it will be direct and specific income, like specific source. Okay. Actually, we have so two types of taxes. Taxes are there. One is a direct tax and indirect tax. Okay, so this is comes under so direct tax. It's mainly lived on the person's income and professional fees, professional charges, and and some other charges. Whereas the GST so imposed on goods and services. Okay. Um, so mainly so the TDS mainly imposed on the persons from salary and house property, income from business and professions, and income from capital gain, and income from other sources. So these are the main sources for the TDS. Okay, deduction. Uh, so once you all deduct all this will get to net income. Okay. So TDS slabs. Okay. Up to 2.5 lakhs. So there is no there is exemption. There is no any tax. Okay. So between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs, so 5% will be deducted. And between 5 to 7 lakhs, 7.5 lakhs, so 10% will be deducted TDS. And between 7.5 lakhs to 10-15 lakhs, so TDS will be deducted 15%. So between 10 to so 12.5 lakhs, TDS will be so 20%. So now let's discuss the some slabs and I mean tax sections and uh, slabs, TDS slabs as for the financial year 2020 to 23. So I have collected some of the important slabs. Okay, I'm not going to discuss everything. So few of the just I want to explain the few things which are important. So section 122 so denotes with payment of salary, and so section 192 is premature withdrawal from EPF, and section 193 is for the interest on securities, and section 194 denotes with so payment of any dividend. Okay. Section 194A so interest from other than the securities. Okay. And section 194B income from lottery winnings and game. Okay, and that will be deducted. And the section 194BA income from online games, and section 194BB is income from the horse race winning, and the section 194C payment to contractor or subcontract, and the section 194D for the insurance commission. So these are the important okay into perspective. Okay, and and so for more details, so once you go through this on Google, okay, Google it, then we can find more sections on TDS. So coming to the TDS configurations, so first we need to create a TDS sections. Okay, TDS sections are called as tax keys, and then next we need to create TDS rates. So rates are called as the tax codes. Next, the third configuration is TDS income configuration should be done in SAP. So we need to create TDS income configuration, and as well as the TDS recipient details which should be mentioned, and TDS recipient details as well as the TDS country details should be mentioned in the SAP. And moreover, TDS can be applicable for both customer invoice as well as customer payment, and at the same time vendor invoice and vendor payment. So it will apply for both the customer invoice and vendor payment. So if TDS details won't mention in vendor master, then TDS won't pick. In case so configuring TDS configurations, okay, after posting this, I mean, FB60 while making payment, okay, vendor payment. And if you don't select that TDS options in the vendor master, then it won't pick. So then we'll get error. So mandate will need to give the TDS details in vendor master. Vendor master SK02 change. SK01 for the vendor creation. SK03 for the display of the vendor master. Next, business areas and section codes related to TDS need to be mentioned in SAP. And number ranges. So this end we need to create number range for the as usual. So we'll create GL for the number range GL accounts asset. In SAP, we will create numbers for several modules. Similarly, for this TDS also, we need to create number range in FBN1 number range. So now let's discuss some important gender entries. Okay. Uh, Say for example, the first case, professional fees paid to XY associate from chartered account of 25,000 during the year if TDS is not applicable. In case if TDS no TDS, then what will be the entries? So at the time of provision of expenses, the interest will be professional charges account data to Mr. XY and associates to account creditor. So at the time of payment of fees, okay. So what will be the interest? So payment means obviously bank will come. So Mr. XY and associates account data to bank account credit. The second case, so professional fees paid to XY associate form of accepted account data for 35,000 during the year when TDS is applicable. In second scenario, so TDS is applying. When TDS applying, okay, what will be the interest? So at the time of provision of expenses, so professional charges account data to Mr. XY associate credit to TDS payable and professional fees credit. So how much here? So on the 35,000, so 10%. So 10% means 3,500. After deducting, so 3,500, so we'll have to pay so 31,500. Okay, deduction. Okay, not pay. And next to at the time of payment of fees. Okay. After so we have deducted the 3,500. Then we are paying to the we are paying so 31,500 to the that chartered accountant. Then what will be the increase? So Mr. FI associate account data to bank account. So 31,500. So at the time of payment of TDS. Okay. So TDS payable and professional charges 3,500 to bank account 3,500. So we are paying only TDS amount. So next, so these are the general list of TDS. So the next case is the next example is in which case TDS amount can be refunded. Okay. So let's say for example in a company, so we are working an employee working only for 8 months instead of but so he didn't work only 12 years. I mean 1 year. But the deduct is already deducted for already calculated and deducted for 12 months. Okay. So that only I mentioned. We have worked only 8 months in a company and our salary not exceeded more than 2.5 lakhs. However, deduct is already calculated and deducted for 1 year. So in this case, deducted amount should be refunded, na? Obviously. Why? Because so you work only for only 8 months, not for 1 year. At the same time, so his salary is not exceeded more than 2.5 lakh. So this is the reason. So the TDS should be refunded to the that employee. So that increase will be so accounting entry for TDS refund. If TDS is receivable from party, then party account data so different of TDS amount, then TDS receivable. So these are the entries will be at the time of TDS amount can be at the time of amount refunded from the party. Next to so withholding tax is very so different from country to country, which means Indian countries we have one withholding tax is there. Okay, so that is known as TDS procedure. In other countries we have so different withholding tax procedures. So for example, if you work for any other countries, okay, so we have to so study respect to country tax procedure. If you are working for the Indian communists, then so we need to go for this withholding tax. It's different from country to country. So this is not for all the one tax for all the company, all the countries. So what are the main difference between withholding tax and external withholding tax? I mean, the new one and old one. So some of the important so differences I have collected. So let me explain you. First functionality is withholding tax and outgoing payment. Okay. So this is applicable for both cases. I mean, classic withholding tax as well as external withholding tax. The second one is TDS on incoming payment. So TDS, it is applicable only in the classic. It's not applicable in classic withholding tax, but it is applicable in external withholding tax. And TDS at the time of invoice. So it is not there in a, so the old one, but in the new one it is applicable. The fourth one is TDS and partial payment. So it's not work out on classic withholding tax, but it can work in it will applicable in external withholding tax. So what are the number of so withholding tax can for each document? So in classic withholding tax only one, maximum one, and external withholding tax many. And coming to the calculation of the TDS basis. Okay, for net amount and gross amount will be applicable for both. Okay, so classic withholding tax as well as external withholding tax. But tax amount, so we won't calculate in withholding tax, but we can calculate in external withholding tax. Rounding rule. So rounding rules means this is one of the topic in asset accounting. For example, for any asset you are for calculating depreciation. Okay, so the asset value, for example, so like 100.15 rupees or 100.0.5 or like 19.5 below 100, like it dumps some decimals will come. Na? So for that point of view, so we'll use round up, round down arithmetic method. Okay, that is known as one of the concept in arithmetic in asset accounting. Uh, so that is applicable in external withholding tax, but is not applicable in withholding tax. Sorry, class withholding tax. Okay, and CAD discount consideration. So it is not applicable in so class withholding tax, but it is applicable in external withholding tax. Cash discount consideration. Next, accumulation. So accumulation is total depreciation. So it is applicable in external withholding tax, but is not applicable in external classic withholding tax. And the minimum and maximum amount and exemption. So it is applicable external withholding tax, but is not applicable in classic withholding tax. And the certification numbering. So it is not applicable in classic withholding tax, but it is applicable in external withholding tax. Next, calculation formula. So it will apply in both cases. So classic withholding tax as well as external withholding tax. So next configurations. Okay, so we don't have any T codes. Okay, so we need to follow path. So the first configuration is check withholding tax countries. The first one is further to have path is there. IMG, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, and basic setting. Check withholding tax countries. So under this check withholding tax, we need to assign this countries for the withholding tax. The second one is a different withholding tax keys. So arrest sections. So for this path is so I am go to IMG and financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, basic settings. So define withholding tax keys. And the third one is define withholding tax types for the invoice posting. So IMG financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax calculation. So define withholding tax types for invoice posting. Similarly, define withholding tax type for payment posting. After invoicing, so we need to make payment. Na? For invoice posting, the path is same. Financial accounting new and global financial accounting global settings new. Withholding tax calculation. Define withholding tax type for the payment posting. The fifth one is check recipient type. So go to IMG. So financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, basic settings, check recipient types. Then next fifth one is check income types. So what are the income types? We need to configure here and go to IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, basic settings, check income types. And the seventh one is define business places. So go to IMG. So here different configuration is there, different path. So cross application components. So general application functions, note of ISCA, go to CNPJ, go to business places, then define business places. The eighth one is define section codes, business places. Go to IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new. So go to withholding tax, go to extend withholding tax, basic settings, India, and define section codes. So after creation of this section codes, we need to so both business area as well as section codes we need to interlink. Okay. Then the ninth one is assign factory calendar to business places. So go to IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, action withholding tax, base setting, India, different business places. The tenth one is maintain tax due date. So go to IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, then withholding tax, action withholding tax, basis setting, India, maintain tax due date. So 11th one is assign withholding tax types to company code. So IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, company code, assign withholding tax types to company codes. Here we need to assign for both invoice and a payment. After creation of this assign withholding tax types to company codes. And next the 12th configuration is activate external withholding tax. Here we need to activate the external withholding tax. Okay. So path is so IMG financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, extend withholding tax, company code, activate withholding tax. So after that, we need to create some important pages related to TDS. So create GL account for withholding tax. So here we need to create a TDS and contractor or any. So that too we need to create under current liabilities. FS in FS00. So here, so need to create by selecting post automatically option. So one important aspect is here we need to select post automatically option. So otherwise, we'll get an error. The 14th one, the 14th one is different withholding tax code to tax codes. Path is IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, calculation, withholding tax code, and different withholding tax codes. And 15th one is define minimum and maximum amounts for withholding tax code. Here we need to create different minimum and maximum amount for withholding tax code. So path is IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, and withholding tax, and external withholding tax calculation, and minimum maximum amounts, and the define minimum and maximum amounts for withholding tax codes. Then 16th one is accounts for withholding tax to be paid over. So path is IMG, financial accounting new, financial accounting global settings new, withholding tax, external withholding tax, posting, and accounts for withholding tax to be paid over. Then seventh one is assign tolerance group for users. So here we need to assign the tolerance group for users in OB57. Then 18th one is you need to approve withholding tax details in vendor master SK02. So if fail to give this TDS withholding tax details in SK02, then we'll face error. So mandatory we need to give the withholding tax details in SK vendor master. And then next the last one is vendor invoice posting in AB60. So while posting AB60, we'll get some important errors. Okay, especially pan related errors. Uh, the error is so for solution is so we need to activate SIN details in vendor master CIN. So in case if SIN detail is not reflecting in vendor master, so we have to so reflect this SIN detail. So we need to so give pan details in vendor in OMT3. OMT3. So this is very important for a Indian perspective, especially errors point of view. So what is the greatest issues you have resolved in the last company? So in such cases, you can say this issue and solution, pan-related issues, especially while configuring withholding tax, and moreover number range issues. So number range will get find like could not determine the year for TDS certificate number range. So if you face any number range of issues in the set, then we need to assign number ranges for particular document in FBN. So this is all about withholding tax, simply known as in Indian context we can call it as a TDS. So withholding tax types and the configurations and sections and gender entries. This is all about TDS.
Nice presentation, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice presentation, Garu.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice presentation, Manjunath.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you please share the documents now?
Nice presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Definitely.
Yeah. Gopi,
యా ప్రవీణ్ గారు చెప్పండి.
అది సర్వర్ ఇస్తా అన్నావు కదా, అది ఏమైంది ఇది?
రికార్డింగ్ సర్వర్ తీసుకున్నా కానీ నేను యూజ్ చేయలేను కదా. సో యాక్చువల్గా నాకు ఇష్యూ అయింది. సో కాపీ బయట ఇవ్వలేదు, తీసుకుంటా నేను ఇస్తాను.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే.
Patients, remaining people's. You are recording. Okay. Okay, guys. This is the session today. Is there have interested in your presentation?
Arils, hello.
Yeah.
If you want to explain one more topic, I will explain you.
Now?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you are willing, I will explain. Else, I will explain tomorrow. Your wish.
Gopi?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, he said he will explain now only. Otherwise, we'll discuss tomorrow, he said.
Depends
if
upon,
willing, sorry?
Depends upon remaining people's.
Yeah, Raji Garu or Shiv Kumar or Swami.
Yes. Yeah. Day after tomorrow I will give.
Tomorrow?
Day after tomorrow.
What's the topic, Anjanath Garu?
So topic is on assessment distribution. So this is comes under controlling cost.
Controlling, it will take more, right?
Not entire topic. It's only assessment distribution.
Yeah,
a small
okay.
topic.
You can proceed. It will take 15 or 10 minutes. It will take. Okay.
Yes. Obviously. Can I?
Yeah, okay. You can proceed it.
Thank you. This is it. Okay. This one, okay. Distribution and versus assessment. Okay. So both are allocation process. Okay, which is part of the maintaining activity. So this is comes under controlling aspect. Okay. So especially when we're doing some fast allocation from one cost center to one cost center. So in such cases, we can use this concept. So, but both elements can use for the this allocation process. But why these two are important? Why need to use both? So that is the main important question. So distribution method, in which cases the distribution method will be used, and which cases this assessment method will be used. So that is one aspect. So distribution method will be used for a primary cost allocation. So whereas assessment will be used for the secondary cost allocation. So distribution will be used for the primary cost allocation from one cost center to another cost center, whereas the assessment will be used for secondary cost allocation. Okay. So there are two kind of cost elements are there in SAP CO. One is primary cost elements, which are related to expense GLs of SAP FI model. You know, so primary cost elements are nothing but so these are GL accounts of FI model. Okay, and secondary cost element which is only in SAP CO, and it is representing one or more than one cost element. So that is the major difference between primary cost element and secondary cost element. Okay, so let me discuss briefly. Okay, in allocation distribution uses only primary cost element. Okay, so as I said earlier, so this is only this distribution process will be used only for primary cost allocation, and that too, for example, so sender and receiver, okay, is a primary cost element. For example, I'm sending from sender cost to receiver cost center, so sender cost are also primary cost element, and receiver also will be the primary cost element. Whereas in case assessment allocation, okay, so secondary cost element is sender may be primary cost element, but mandatorily receiver may will be secondary cost element only. See the major difference. The secondary cost in the while doing assessment, okay, cost element. The sender may be primary cost element, but the receiver will be obviously secondary cost element. So that is the major difference. Primary distribution and assessment. Why two methods are cost allocation are needed? Why these two are? See, overhead, also called as indirect expenses, cannot allocate directly to particular cost center, okay, or particular product. So we need to first to allocate, I mean, distribute this cost or expenses based on the activity or statistical key figure. So statistical key figures means in controlling point of view, can call it as measurements. Okay, for example, salary, how much salary we are paying for this employees, persons wise or area wise, how much area occupied this floor. Okay, like measurement, kgs, liters, like that. And so based on this, we can so define this. We can allocate the from cost center to from one receiver sender to receiver cost center. And so first of all, overheads need to allocate particular cost center, which is our primary distribution. Correct. So basically, so two methods are in distribute method. One is the distribution method and the period end distribute method. In the distribute method only we have so two types of are there. One is the distribution method, and the second one is a period end distribution method. So in both cases, we'll use primary cost elements to allocate the particular cost center. In these two cases, we can use only primary cost element, only, not secondary cost. So let me discuss with one diagram. Okay, okay, small. For example, sender cost element and receiver cost elements both will be primary cost element. See here, sender cost element will be, for example, I have taken a salary cost center. Okay, then so say receiver also, so it will be salary primary cost element. Okay, and the same time we need to assign this category as one. Okay, and similarly, whereas in secondary cost element, okay, in assessment, if sender may be primary cost element and receiver cost center may be one or one cost center or multiple cost center, but it will be secondary cost element only. I hope you got this point. See, here sender cost element and receiver cost center. Okay, sender, I'm sending primary cost element will be salary, and receiver cost center will is the secondary secondary cost element, but that is salary, but it is secondary cost element. But here categories we need to assign as 41. So in the distribution we need to assign one as category, but in the assessment, so we need to give 41 as category 41. So the question is, so which method we need to follow for allocation means? So this is the question. Which method we need to follow? We can use both measures, but some conditions are there. What are the conditions? So if you can directly identify the cost, okay, cost direct determination, it is possible. So in such cases, we will go for the distribution method. So by using this primary cost element, if direct determination cost is not possible, then we will go for the assessment, which is secondary cost element method. So sometimes we'll have to allocate overhead expenses more than one time. Overhead, overhead expense means indirect expenses. So let's say one example. So I'm sending. So I've taken primary cost element. I'm sending from cost center 1 to cost center 2. Here again, cost center 2 should divide into production 1 and production 2. So first, in the first case, first phase of allocation has taken as a distribution method, and the second phase of allocation have so we need to take as assessment method. So that is the different. So this when the cost center divided into two parts, like production 1 and production 2. So for the production, hello, somebody is asking. Hello.
ఎవరు మీరు కంటిన్యూ అవ్వండి.
Okay, thank you. So for the production 1, see here for the production 1, so we allocate the cost center by distribution method. For the rest, I mean production 2, cost center will be used for assessment method. So this both cases is the cost center will be used in cost of production. So let's say for example, so have so I allocate some the cost centers like salary, rent, and the salary promotion expenses. Salary so 10,000, the rent for 4,000, sales promotion expenses 1,000. So this is expenses for a particular period, like I have taken like 1 month. Okay, expenses. But here, so I'm allocating this expenses to marketing department. Okay, so based on some percentage, like 40%, 20%, 10%. But this is not this. Okay, so how much you want to direct the percentage? Okay, how much percent you want to allocate to the department? So 40% means 4,000. Okay, and 20% of 4,000 means 800, and 10% and 1,000 means like 100. Then so we'll get the total allocation expenses. Okay. So while posting AB50, all costs by default we are going to record for this cost center. Okay, especially see here, but user doesn't know how much cost is going to post in which cost center to make the FI in this after while posting AB50. User doesn't know how much cost center so how much cost is going to post for which cost center. Okay, so in order to FI it is simple initially, the call centers will take it as a default cost center. So that is the reason in the while posting this AB50, so we need to take a default cost center. Okay, default. So out of this from one cost center, we'll allocate different cost center. So in the month end, so which will be done by the CO user and FI users. So next to this one configurations and distribution estimate. So distribution is already explained you. So that one have written here. Okay. Okay. Definition. So these are the T codes. Okay. So family cost element planning. So we need to use T code KP06. And so to display the cost center elements, we need to execute this one report code S underscore ALR underscore 870136440. And next to create plan distribution cycle. So we need to use case V7 and execute plan distribution cycle. So we need to use T code case VB. And in order to execute this plan distribution cycle, so we need to use T code case VB. Create the actual distribution cycle KSV1 and create actual distribution cycle KSV5. So reversal of actual distribution KSV5 and display actual cost line results for the cost centers KSV1. So this is the T codes for the distribution. And coming to the assessment. So these are the lines already explained you. So okay, so this is not any other there's any differences. Okay, just I'm explaining you only T codes. And in the conversion of assessment is first we need to create a creation of secondary cost element for assessment in FS00. So that too, so category should be 42. And so primary cost element planning is KP06. And so to display reports for the cost centers, so we need to code S underscore ALR underscore 870136440. So age good plan assessment cycle is KSUB, and create actual assessment cycle KSUN, and display actual cost line items for cost centers KSB1. As good actual assessment cycle is KS25, and allocation structure for assessment is KSCS. So similarly, same concept will be applicable for the distribution and assessment for profit centers also as well. So this is all about distribution and assessment cycle, especially. So this is part of month-end activities. So in both these two aspects will be used to allocation process from one cost center to other cost center. Just we need to keep it in mind. So which case will use this distribution process and which case will use adjustment process. So that's it. Thank you.
Nice presentation, Manjunath.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. We wind up this section today.
Yeah.
Anything
Yeah,
we want to
thank you.
discuss?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.